Very good. Hare Krishna, welcome all of you to Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's a chapter 1, chapter 5 today, where we're going to cover verses 1 to 11. And this is based on the teaching of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya for the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is known as ISKCON. And before we start, we're seeking blessing from Guru, Gauranga, and all assembled Vaishnavas. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bodale Srimati Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaur Kadara Nagara Grama Tarini Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadaram Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Prayers to Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatum Jaya Mutiraye. Nasapradeshu Apradeshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamam Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nayastaki. Okay, overview on current where we're going to cover, and basically today's up to 11 verses, where verses number 1 to 4, where in previous chapter we have seen that Narada Rishi was been welcomed by Vyasa, and Vyasa was in a despondency where he was dissatisfied after compiling the Vedas, the Puranas, all literature have been compiled, still he feel never satisfied, and even he have translated the fifth Veda according to Chandaka Upanishad, where it called Mahabharata for all class of people, but still he never feel satisfied. And at the time we seen that Narada came, and now Narada going to inquiry 1 to 4. Then after that, Vyasa going to inquiry, and the defensive. So then the glories of sage Narada, we're going to see how Vyasa going to glorify the sage of Narada. Then In a verse number 8, we're going to see how Narada chastised Vyasadeva. Then, verse number 9, we're going to see Narada pointing the root cause of Vyasa despondency. And verse number 10, we're going to see the mundane with transcendental literature. And verse number 11, we're going to see the characteristics of the transcendental literature. What the between this, what's the value or the characteristic of this transcendental literature? And okay, and today verse it say that Sutta Vacha means Sutta still Sutta speaking. Atatam sukham asina upasinam bhratrava devarishi praha viprashim ina pani semen eva. Can one of you read the translation, please?
Sutta Goswami said, thus the sage amongst the gods, Narada, comfortably seated and apparently smiling, addressed the rishi among the Brahmanas, Vyasadeva. Purport, Narada was smiling because he well knew the great sage Vyasadeva and the cause of his disappointment. As he will explain gradually, Vyasadeva's disappointment was due to insufficiency in presenting the signs of devotional service. Narada knew the defect, and it was confirmed by the positions of Vyasa. Hare Krishna.
From here we can see how the Guru understand the Guru know the motive and what have done by the disciple. So Narada know. So this is the reason where normally we address Narada as Trikala Samanta, because you know the past, you know the present, you know the future. So from here, we have noticed that how in a previous verses we have seen how Narada we been welcomed by stand-up greeting. Now what he have done? He giving a nice Vyasasant, then after doing a service, then address the Rishi. So this is how we sing. And verse number 2, after address by Vyasa, Narada going to reply. So this is how Narada replying. Narada Vacha Parasraya Mahabhaga. Oh, means Parasaraya Mahabhaga. Oh, means the son of Parasara Muni, who the great fortune one. This is how he addressing. Bhagavat Kachit Atmanam Paritushyati Sarira Atma Manasa Evava. So can any one of you read the translation, please?
Okay, Prabhu, I'll read that. Addressing Vyasadeva, the son of Prasara, Narada inquired, are you satisfied by identifying with the body or the mind as objects of self-realizations? Purport, being a great son of a great father, Vyasadeva should not have identified the self with the body or the mind. Ordinary man with a poor fund of knowledge can identify the body as a self or the mind as self, but Vyasadeva should not have done so. One cannot be cheerful by nature unless one is factually seated in self-realizations, which is transcendental to the material body and mind. Hare Krishna.
So from here we can see how tactfully the Guru addressing Narada tactfully addressing the Vyasa. Like you don't know, just asking, are you satisfied? But there are some inner meaning with the body or the mind as the object of self-realizations. Are you happy with it in your compilations? And this was a hint by Narada regarding the cause of Vyasa despondency. So this is a hint. So your despondency is certainly not due to the lack of knowledge. Certainly no. This how in a verse number 3 it's going to link. And So in the verse number 3, it says that Jigna satim susnampanam apite mahat adbudam kritavan bharadam yeshtuam sarvata paribritam. So anyone other than allegation Prabhu, can any one of you read the translation to the verse number 3?
Your inquiries were full and your studies were also well fulfilled, and there is no doubt that you have prepared a great and wonderful work, the Mahabharata, which is full of all kinds of Vedic sequences elaborately explained.
So now we can see how Narada was glorifying the Vyasa's work. Then verse number 4, we're going to see this despondency is due to the lack of self-realization. He never say about the knowledge, but this is due to the self-realization. So this how the sloka will be, it says that Jigna Sayitam Aditam Cha Brahma Yattat Sanatanam Tatapi Sochya Atmana Aksate Iva Prabhu. So maybe other than, I think Sarayu, right? Earlier? Maybe Shamsa.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. You have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman as well as the knowledge derived therefrom. Why should you be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
We can see how the Guru is addressing. How the Guru is addressing here. Addressing in a polite way to his disciple. Not Vyasa inquiry about Dhamma Jignasayitam, complete, but he also understood the realization Aditam that Brahman, he compiled the Vedanta that most exalted philosophical exposition contain the conclusion about internal Brahman. So this how we can see now. So he asking. So now in verse number 5, after Narada doing such inquiry, now we're going to see how Narada, how Vyasa is ready to accept and the way of his surrendering to his spiritual master. This is how we're going to see now. So Vyasa, so now Vyasa is going to speak. So now Vyasa going to speak. You say that Vyasa vacha asti eva mi sharvam idam vekvam tatapinatma pari tushyate me tanmulam avyaktam agat bodham atyame tatvatam bhavatma bhutanam. So the translations and as well the purport. Whoever never done can kindly please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Okay, translation. Sri Vaishnadev say, all you have said about me is perfectly correct. Despite all this, I'm not pacified. I therefore question you about the root cause of my dissatisfaction, for you are a man of unlimited knowledge due to your being the offspring of one, that is Brahma, who is self-born without mundane father and mother. But in the material world, everyone is engrossed with the idea of identifying the body or the mind with the self. As such, all knowledge disseminated in the material world is related either with the body or with the mind. And that is the root cause of all despondencies. This is not always detected, even though one may be greatest erudite scholar in materialistic knowledge. It is good, therefore, to approach a personality like Narada to solve the root cause of all despondencies. Why Narada should be approached is explained below. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So now we noticing that Vyasa is saying that you're correct. Narada, what you say is correct. He agreed. So from here we can see Narada, whatever you say, agreed. Now in the next verse, we're going to see how he's going to say that you know everything. And he will say that Veda Amsa Guyam. So that means, the confidential of the Vedas. No, Savai Bhagavan Veda Samasta Guyam. So you know the mystery, since you worship not who is the origin person. Then he say that Upasitya Purusha Purana. The origin person. Paravareshwaro Manasaiva Vishveshvam. He said the control of mental and spiritual world. Because then Srijati Avi Ati Gunair Asangaha, and untouched by the moods, So that person. So can any one of you read? Whoever never read, maybe you all can, that can read the translations and also the purport, please.
Yeah, read, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
My Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you because you worship the creator and destroyer of the material world and the maintainer of the spiritual world, the original personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to the three modes of material nature. A person who is 100% engaged in the service of the Lord is the emblem of all knowledge. Such a devotee of the Lord in full perfection of devotional service is also perfect by the qualification of the personality of Godhead. As such, the eightfold perfections of mystic power, Ashtasiddhi, constitute very little of his godly opulence. A devotee like Narada can act wonderfully by his spiritual perfection, which every individual is trying to attain. Srila Narada is a 100% perfect living being, although not equal to the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Vindhya Mataji. Now, in a verse number 15 of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse number 15, he says that Sarvesha Chaham Hridi Sanis Vishto Mata Smriti Jnanam Apoanam Cha. So this is the important line. He says that Veda Cha Sarve Aham Ve Eva Vidyo Vedanta Krit Veda Vid Eva Chaham. So he says that by all the Vedas, I'm to be known. Indeed, I'm the compiler of the Vedantas, and I'm the knower of the Vedas. So that's the main subject. So by knowing Krishna and by doing a devotional service to Krishna, he have understood all the Vedas spiritual knowledge. So this is the reason why, because Vyasa know, because he is the compiler, he know what the purpose of the Vedas. Therefore, he addressing that Narada, you're doing Bhakti Yoga. You are the Bhakti incarnation of the Lord. We have seen in chapter 2, right? You all remember? Chapter 2. So about the Leela Avatar of the Lord. So when we speak about Leela Avatar, when we speak about Saktivesh Avatar, and Narada was the Bhakti Sakti, or the Bhakti Amsa of the Lord, who are propagating the Bhakti. So by knowing you, by knowing the root, so all the cause, Param Brahmam. So this how Vyasa's addressing, because Vyasa is the Pandit, or all the Vedas. So therefore we can see how Vyasa is saying that Narada, you know everything because you are devotee. And the following verse, now we're going to say that you are traveling here and there, and you are like and you know everything. This how you're going to conclude. And from the verse number 8, we're going to see how Narada going to reply the question by Vyasa. Okay, now in the verse number 7, he says that Vayam Priyatam Akra Ihi Trilokim Antattaro Vayur Ivatmasaki Paravare Brahmani Dharmo Nirtahi Sanatashyami Nyayum Alam Vikya Swaha. So, translation, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, please, Durga Devi Mataji.
Translation. Like the sun, your goodness can travel everywhere in the three worlds. And like the air, you can penetrate the internal region of everyone. As such, you are as good as the all-pervasive super soul. Please, therefore, find out the deficiency in me, despite my being absorbed in transcendence under disciplinary regulations and woes. Purport: transcendental realization, pious activity, worshipping the deities, charity, mercifulness, non-violence, and studying the scriptures under strict disciplinary regulation are always helpful. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Divya Mataji. So now we have to see, okay, we're going to have some discussion on this verse. Okay, what Vyasa have do in this verse? Can anyone you found something is there that it make Narada to answer? What you all think, what will be there? So in what mood did Vyasa addressing this text? So what you all think, in what mood did Vyasa addressing Narada?
As a guru, as a student.
As a guru, and yes, but they are, even we mix with guru, we have some level of guru and disciple. I'm agree. In which level you all think that these conversations happen, particularly in this sloka? So what do you all think? There are some clues there. And Vyasa was ready to get anything. What you all think? What this particularly is there? Something is there.
Prabhu, I think yesterday was telling that, like, despite he's absorbed in the transcendence, but yet there are some deficiency in himself.
Yeah, yes, thank you so much. Now, from here we can find out the surrender level of Vyasa. Am I right? What Vyasa do? Did Vyasa surrender, or did, okay, whenever we speak with the Guru, there are two things that we need always think. One is opinion, one is approval. Sometimes when we go and ask Guru Maharaj, I like to do this, are you okay with it? And what you all think, what the Guru will reply for that?
He will say, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Why the Guru will do that?
Because that is your wish, you wanted to do it.
Yes, okay, very good. So then how the disciple should address the Guru?
What is Guru's desire?
Yes, what the Guru desire. Then how should we address him when we have something in our life, we got some problem, when we got something, when we want to ask with the Guru, how should we address that problem? We need to ask everything with the Gurus, and how should we address that? What do you all think? How should we address that? What do you all think?
What we know is that we have to let him to decide for us, in fact.
Okay, decide for us, but how? How we want to let him to decide for us? How? This is my question. How?
By surrendering to our Guru.
Yes, by surrendering, but how? This is a process, but normally say that, Guru, I'm surrendering to you. But when you want to ask some advice, Guru Maharaj, I think this is better. Now, can I do this? This is surrender?
No.
So now my question is again come to make you all to think. So what and how? So this how Vyasa have teach us how we should address the Guru.
In a humble state.
Acceptance of the spiritual master, the Guru, spiritual master.
Pardon?
Acceptance.
Yeah, we accept. Everybody accept. If they not accept, why they need to go and inquiry for him? Definitely accept. But my question is how we want to address him.
Humbly.
Yes, Ambali, but even Ambali Guru Maharaj, I think this is good. And I think,
shouldn't
can I do
suggest.
this?
I think
Huh?
it's a matter of we shouldn't suggest to him, but ask him. Is it?
Yes. Normally, when you want to present something, you can present. You can present. My dear Gurudev, I want to do this. Yes, but this is what I think correct. But if you tell like that, what will happen? What your Guru say?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, you are correct. So then how? How the Vyasa is addressing here? So we need to very careful when we are addressing the spiritual master. When we want to get idea or some suggestion in a life, we should give to him and we need to tell everything A to Z. And this is my desire. This when you put your desire, then finish. You need to say that this is my thought. This is my thought. I don't know what, no, my desire, our desire, the soul desire is only to go back to Krishna. So the thought that's coming is only the mind thought. It's not a spiritual thought. It's not about the jiva thought, the desire. The real desire is to go back to Krishna. This is the real desire of the soul. So therefore, this is my mind thought, my spiritual master. Now, please suggest to me, what should I do? I don't know. In this situation, I was in dilemma. So this it called surrender, because you need to tell all the situation to him in the same time. It's won't sufficient by telling everything, but you need to make in such a statement that the Guru understand that you surrender and you're waiting for his approval, not blessings or his suggestion. Is it clear?
That means to say that we tell everything, and at the end we say, please Guru Maharaj, please guide me. What should I do? Is
Yes.
that okay?
We got a one great soul here called Hari Prabhu. Let me introduce. This is my our temple full-time devotee, where is a very good of my friend from Hari. I think you all know him.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Hari. So he just come to join the classes, okay? And now, come to the point. Yes, Sarojini Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. You was asking me, then suddenly duty came. So please forgive
I'm
me.
just telling that after we say everything to Guru Maharaj, then we say, I don't know what to do. Please advise me what I should do. Is that the way we ask?
Yes, I'm surrendering in. We need to put that I'm surrendering into you. I'm in dilemma because I don't know what is best for me. I couldn't believe is this my mind or is it my desire? Is it Krishna choice? Because I don't know. You need to give everything. How we know that is Krishna? This is Krishna choice. Sometimes our mind can bewilder us. What happened when Bhutana entered to Vrindavan? What Yashoda Mai thinking? What did Yashoda Mai thinking about when she saw Putana? The gopis, the Vrindavan, the Vrijas. What they see when Putana entered?
She's a very beautiful person, very good
Yeah,
person.
yeah, similar like that. Sometimes we think, oh, this is my Krishna desire. But it can hit us, the mind. The Maya is very powerful. So therefore, we need to be very careful. End of this first canto, we will be understand how to conform when we do something. So how to do that? When we in chapter 19, we'll discuss more about it. So now we are so far we have understand what is, and basically when we want to take the major decision, we need to consult with the spiritual master. This is very important. Any major thing, so you can write email, or if you not access of your spiritual master, then you can get your siksha or the immediate authority to get the guidance. Okay, so we go to the verse number 8, where now we're going to speak. Now all of you have chanted all the way. I'm chanted the sloka. Now we change the position that I never put any slokas in the slide. So when again we going, every one of you read one by sloka and the translation. Okay. So if you have the Bhagavatam, it will be nice with you all. Okay. And verse number 8. Any one of you want to chant the slokas and also the translation, please welcome.
Shri Narada Vacha Bhavatanudita Prayam Yaso Bhagavato Malam Yenai Vasauna Tushyeta Manye Tattarshanam Kilam. Shri Narada said, "You have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the personality of Godhead. That philosophy which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord is considered worthless."
Now, indirectly, what do you say? What do you say here?
Speculations are not, speculations are worthless.
You never say anything about the speculations here.
You say you have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the personality of Godhead.
Yes. Okay. Now, don't go to the purport first. So let me understand the sloka. Then when we go to the purport, we can realize it. Okay. Okay. In a chapter 4, what Narada have done? Sorry, Vyasa have done. In a chapter 4, in earlier, the last point that we know, before the Narada was addressing, so you have done something. What you have done there?
He was compiling all the scriptures.
Thank you, Allegation Prabhu. Yeah, shabash for you. Okay, yeah, you're compiling all the literature, 4 Vedas and all these things. But that compiling of the Vedantas or the Puranas, the philosophy does not satisfy the transcendental sign of the Lord, and it's a worthless. It's indirect. We say that it's worthless. Okay, and can continue with the purport now. Let me see what the purport say on this.
Dry philosophical speculations, even on the transcendental subject of the absolute, have very little attraction without directly dealing with the glorification of the Lord. The personality of Godhead is the last word in the transcendental realization. Impersonal Brahman or localized supersoul Paramatma is less productive of transcendental bliss than the supreme personal realization of his glories. The compiler of the Vedanta Darshana is Vyasadeva himself, yet he is troubled although he is the author. So what sort of transcendental bliss can be derived by the readers and listeners of Vedanta, which is not explained directly by Vyasadeva, the author? Herein arises the necessity of explaining Vedanta Sutra in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam by the same author.
So you all get now? So sometimes we are so much inclined to follow some kind of rituals. Have you noticed sometimes we are so I want to follow that. No, this is important, when we are born in Indian body. What do you all think? Do you all face that? Basically, I'm facing that many, because I'm in a temple, right? I meet many devotees. They will say, "This is my culture. I'm following this." So how you all facing that? As a devotee, when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, when he says that, you're coming to the note that to read other literatures other than Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is worthless. I'm not saying that. Did I saying that or Narada saying this?
What's Narada saying?
Narada saying, right? Thank you so much. Now, by even Narada feel never satisfied, how the person who are in a parampara of that going to explain. So this is the reason when we go and listen them, we got confused. You know, when we get confused, we say, wonderful class. And when we speak the subject matter out of emotion, let's say, oh, Krishna's running. Wow, it's Kajal. And everybody with emotion crying, and Krishna, Radharani like this and then, and people are crying. But that is good, it's purification, but without a philosophy, then you won't understand the subject matter as it is. You can understand the why. Otherwise, you start to speculate. So not you, all of us start to speculate position of Krishna, and we start to doubt, or we start to have some conflict or some kind of some interpretation on Krishna without who are him. There are many people, yeah, outside there, they say that Krishna is a playboy. But now we understand Krishna is a transcendental, he don't have a body, and all the jiva is belong to him. So in the same time, he was dwelling in all the body that here as a Paramatma. So how? So from this we understood that Krishna positions. So this is the reason why Srimad Bhagavatam need to go from the systematic, not immediately exactly jump to the canto 10 you want to read. Even you read it, yes, then you have some own conquered mind because you won't understand the philosophy. Now, the philosophy here, we know, we have discussed about the creation. How the creation take place? We have discussed why Krishna's come, what is ultimate good for the people. We have discussed. Now it's going. Now, the why Narada have to compile this Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the history of Srimad Bhagavatam, because after compiling all the Vedas, still he found despondency and dissatisfied. This is the reason Srimad Bhagavatam didn't take place. Oh, this how the Bhagavatam, now Narada start to instruct that you need to write Bhagavatam. But before he instruct, he said that insufficient. He said that Vyasa might say, but I have described a lot of quality in Padma Purana. You might be say, I have described, no? But we're going to see, did Vyasa replying anything, or Vyasa keep silent? So this how we're going to see how Narada diagnosed the two defects of Vyasa. So this how we're going to see. Okay, verse number 9 is over emphasizing on 4 purushartha, artha, kama, and moksha. So this how we're going to see how Vyasa have done this, all the compile of the Shastra. This is not about Bhagavatam, what they have compiled, and what basically this dealing with. So anyone of you can read the slokas and as well the translation, please.
Yata dharmadayas-charta munivaryanukritita na tata vasudevasya mahi anuvarnita. Translation: although great sage, you have very broadly described the 4 principles beginning with religious performance, you have not described the glories of the Supreme Personality Vasudeva. Points. Should I read the points, Prabhu?
Yeah, you can now. Yeah.
Prompt diagnosis of the root cause of the despondency of Vyasadeva was his deliberate avoidance of glorifying the Lord in his various editions of the Puranas. Did not give as much importance to the glories of the Lord compared to the four religious principles. From this, it is clearly indicated that no one can be pleased substantially without being engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, this fact is clearly mentioned.
So now we have to understand even periodic work should be condemned the void of the Lord glories. Now, Narada understood what Narada have done in earlier. In the beginning, what Narada was inquiry. Narada was glorifying the work of Vyasa, yes or not?
Yes.
Did he? Yes, right? Now what Vyasa is doing? Sorry, what Narada doing now?
He's telling what he did in the four ways, what he identified.
Okay. Now you're going to go more idea.
Yeah.
This next sloka is more heavier. And before we go to the next sloka, we continue. The pure digital service begin only after liberation or the Brahma Bodha stage. We need to understand that. The conclusion is to maintain the status quo of Brahma Bodha stage to increase the degree of transcendental realization. So this is the reason Narada recommend to Vyasa to eager and repeatedly describe the part of devotional service. This will cure him from the gross despondency. So this is how, and this is how Prabhupada was conclude in a chapter 5, verse number 9. Now, this is very heavy statement. It's really heavy. Look at how Narada is really heavy. And let me discuss the translate. Let me discuss after we read the verses and also the translations. So this is the memory sloka. If you want to memorize it, it will be good. And because I don't want to say that this is one of my favorite sloka, because you all know that whenever I keep going, then whenever I say, they say, Prabhu, how many favorite sloka you have? So therefore, kindly read after me. Na Yat Vachas Chitrapadam Hariyasho Jagat Pavitram Prahani Rishit Tat Vyasam Tirtam Shanti Usanti Manasha Nayat Yatra Amsa Ante Teshaya. Okay, now what I do, I'm going to share my Veda-based sloka for you all. So maybe after I chant one, all of you can chant, because this is a very good sloka that if you all can memory, then you all know the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, and all of us will be value Srimad Bhagavatam like anything. So therefore, I'm sharing this sloka that we can releasing or rely, the enjoying the nectar of this sloka word by word after we chant, all of us chant this slokas. Na yat vachas chitra padam mariyesho jagat pavitram pranata karichet tad vyasa tirtam usheshana manasya na yatra amsa na manti useshayaha. So anyone of you want to chant, most welcome.
Okay, let's start on that.
Yeah, Prabhu, I
yeah.
can- okay.
Yeah, all of you, please, one by one.
Okay.
Na yat vachas chitra padam hare ryaso jagat pavitram pragnita kachi it yat vyaya vayasam tirtam ushanti manasha nayatra hamsa niramanti ushik shasa shaya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare-
Go ahead, Nikiji. Hare Krishna. Nayad vachas chitrapadam hare ryaso jagat pavitram praknita karhiche tar vyasam tirtam ushanti manasa nayar ayatra hamsa niramanti ushekshaya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Next.
Okay, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Nayat vachas chitra padam hare yasu jagat pavitram praknita kahichit tat vyasham tirtam ushanti manasha nayatra hamsa niramanti ushikshaya. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Jaya Mataji. Next.
Na yat vachas chitra padam hare yaso jagat pavitram praknita karhichet tat vayasam tirtham usanti manasa na yatra hamsa niramanti usikshaya.
Nayat vachas chitra padam harir yaso jagat pavitram pragnita karche tat vayasam tritam usanti manasa nayatra hamsa niramanti usiksaya.
Nayat vachas chitra padam hare yasho jagat pavitram praknita karhichit tat vayasam tirtam ushanti manasa na yatra hamsa niram anti ushik shayaha.
The last person, Durga Devi, Divya
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Nayat vasa chitra padam hare yasu jagat pavitram pragnita karichi tad vayasam tirtam usanti manasa nayatra hamsa niramanti usikasha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Now, all of you scolding Vyasadeva. All of you scolding Vyasadeva, no?
Oh my God.
You know that or not? This sloka is scolding Vyasadeva. Okay, can all of you read the translation? Let's see how you all scold Vyasa now.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, please, Prabhu.
Do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly persons to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. Since the all perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure there. Hare Krishna.
Now you see how Vyasa, Vyasa have done all the compilation, and our dear Narada telling Vyasa, you doing Tat Vyasa Tirtham. What does mean Tat Vyasa Tirtham? Anyone know what's the meaning of Tat Vyasa Tirtham? If you know word by words, if you have Bhagavatam, you know.
Is it pilgrimage for crows?
Yes. Is it how heavy was Narada now? Is it heavy or not heavy?
Heavy.
Very heavy. You all nicely compile everything and give, and if what will you do when your spiritual master say this is a crow books?
You just say, yeah.
Look at this, you know. So this how we have to see it. So we need to know. So therefore, Narada was saying that this is a Tat Vyasa Tirtham we have done for the crow, not for the Amsa. He said, Na yatra Amsa nirmanti usheshayaha. What does mean? Na yatra, not place for Amsa nirmanti usheshaya. What does mean? What does mean? Na yatra Amsa nirmanti usheshayaha.
Na yan.
Not for the perfect being.
What does mean Amsa?
Swan.
Yeah, swan. So where swan will be?
Beautiful pond.
Beautiful fawn, all these things. So you all need to understand that you all the great, because you all are swan, not the crow, no? So you all need to be, the reason why I'm saying so, because this what Narada say, because you all hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So when you all hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, so what does mean? Because you are interesting in a Krishna service. Because by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Nasta Pradeshu Abradeshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamam Sulakya Bhakti Bhavati Naisaki. So the Abradeshu, the inauspicious will destroy. So the auspicious will come and will be Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, then the spiritual. So that means that wherever unwanted thing that been planted as a desire within us, that the following the jiva, the soul, now it be clear, it been purified. Therefore, Abardesho, Bardesho, that means the auspicious come. So then, before this, I may be crow, because of this Bhagavatam, I'm changed to become a swan. So this owl. So we going to see the difference of the crow and the swan. So the crow will be stay in a flitty place or the garbage. The swan will be stay in a beautiful fawn with the lotus. And fruity workers and passionate men. And spiritual for Srimad Bhagavatam for spiritual advancement. And when you go to sense pleasure, wine and woman, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, interest in devotional service, mundane literature, this is how the crow, they like about the body and mind. When you say the devotional service is great, you need to do, I don't listen you, who are you to tell me? So they only go to the transcendental literature and glories of the Lord. And the crow, like social literature, scientists, mundane, pure, theoretical, philosophy, and political. And the swan, like Paramahamsa, they're not interested. If we reflect, we can sit for 3 hours for a movie, no? Indian movie, 3 hours, right? Is it they reduce the time or still 3 hours? I don't know.
Between 2.5 hours to 3 hours plus.
Or 2.5 hours. Okay, how about other movies, huh? Yes, Sarojini ma'am.
English movies are about 1.5 hours.
1.5 hours, huh? Okay. But as long when we say, come, please sit for the Bhagavatam class. Come, sit for Bhagavad Gita class. Oh, no, I have this to do. No, I have that to do. When go to the temple, ticket for donation will be difficult. But as long they go for the shopping complex, the thing they're going to buy is unwanted also will become pleasure. Why?
Because of the sense gratification.
Yes, this is how it go. You can see when you go ask the donation for the temple, for the well-being of the people, where we want to do a revolution. So the best revolution is Srimad Bhagavatam. This one Prabhupada did, where he changed the epis to the epis. Right? So what big revolution we want? Where the whole world are trying to fight for the body. We can see among our community, we fight for our Tamil language, we fight for our Telugu language, we fight for the color of our body, we fight for the I'm this unit. But that is happening in our devotee life, who are really who are seriously practicing a spiritual life. How the perspective was. Did they see that, oh, you have to study, no, very highly, your qualification is very high, so therefore you are the, no, you are the garbage collector, so you cannot, you cannot mix with me? Is it happen in our temple, in ISKCON? No, right?
No.
We all together. I know our Dr. Shantirupa Mataji, she's treated equally, if you see. Well, I don't know them. Basically, I also remember one of the Dr. Srivas, he's a dentist. I don't know he's a doctor. He was like, washing the pots, and also, was like shock for me. How come the doctor doing all these things when I first time visit the ISKCON, for the festival, when they're doing all these things? And the way they treat equally, when come to the function, yes, sometime for the festival, yes, something is there, but when come to the association, they see equal. So this how we can see this how where Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, one of the lectures, say that when the king or the government was addressing him, what your society can do for me, and Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj is addressing that, he bring immediately. We see, look at this is white man, you look at this a brown man, look at this a black man. See, everybody together, they stay together because their motive is they understood they are Jivara Surupari Krishna Nityadas. They are the servant of Krishna. This how we unite as the soul, the servant of the Lord, where we unite. Where the mundane literature, it is just increasing our lust. Where divide, when it divide, where we can't see any good quality on them. The time go, you can see, can't see any good quality, even they are good. Now we can see many poor people come this pandemic time. We can see many this pandemic time, many poor people coming to help them. How about the people, that artists who have the best singer? I never seen they come and help anything. Why? Because it does create them the greediness. I'm not telling everyone, I'm just saying that, how it happened when the spiritual practitioners come. We can see our society, how we have done food for life throughout, all the countries. This how, this is the reason where the swan don't like to take place of that. Only crow will take place, like to sit there. This how. So now, and this is the last verse for today. So any one of you want to do the closing ceremony by chanting the sloka and the translation, and we after discuss of this point, we can end the section, and you can have ask questions if you like. So any one of you have never chanted the sloka and the translation, I will come to do so.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sham Charan Das here.
Yes, Prabhu. Sham Charan, Prabhu.
Tat vak visargo janataga viplavo yasmin prati slokam abad havati api namani Anastasia yasho nikatiyat sravanti gayanti grana granti sadava. Hare Krishna.
I can read the translation, bro.
Yes, Prabhu. On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions, the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastime, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words, directed toward bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of the world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. Great thinkers pick up best even from the worst. nectar from a stalk of poison, gold even from a filthy place, accept good and qualified wife even from a obscure family, accept a good lesson even from a man or from a teacher who comes from the untouchables. These are some ethical instruction for everyone in every place without exception. But a saint is far above the level of an ordinary man. Hare Krishna.
Okay, we still never end, Prabhu. So any one of you?
I can't see you.
So maybe others want to read. Welcome.
Yeah, I read for behalf of Prabhu Sarvaraj.
Okay, I can't see you, sorry.
No problem. Yeah. Need of broadcasting Srimad Bhagavatam in Kali Yuga. But due to the age of quarrel, Kali, which we have discussed, there is always a chance of quarrel on slight provocations. Therefore, there is a great need for disseminating the message of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world. It is the duty of every responsible Indian to broadcast the transcendental message of Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the world, to do all the supermost good as well as to bring about the desired peace in the world. Because India has failed in her duty by neglecting this responsible work, there is so much quarrel and trouble all over the world. We are confident that if the transcendental message of Srimad Bhagavatam is received only by the leading men of the world, certainly there will be a change of heart. And naturally, the people in general will follow them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru.
Never finish yet.
Our presenting this matter in adequate language, especially a foreign language, which certainly fail, and there will be so many literacy discrepancies despite our honest attempt to present in the proper way. Fire in a house, language is not important. The same spirit of cooperation is needed to broadcast this transcendental message of the Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the polluted atmosphere of the world. Srimad Bhagavatam will diminish the activities of the corrupt mind of the people in general, supply food for their hankering after reading some interesting literature. In the beginning, they may not like it because one suffering from jaundice is reluctant to take sugar candy. But we should know that sugar candy is the only remedy for jaundice. We are sure, therefore, that everyone in the human society will welcome Srimad Bhagavatam, even though it is now presented with so many faults. For it is recommended by Sri Narada, who has very kindly appeared in this chapter.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So now we have seen the work of Srimad Bhagavatam. We say that if you speak about Krishna or about the devotional service, it brings revolution for the people. Right? We have seen many people. We don't see many people. We reflect on our life. What we doing before this, and what we doing now. At this hour, will we listen to the Srimad Bhagavatam class?
No.
No, definitely no. We might be doing something, but what happened in our life? We might be eating meat. We might be doing some nasty things. But now, how it changed? Because of the revolutions of Srimad Bhagavatam teaching. Because Nityam Bhagavata Sevya, it's not Bhagavat means Bhagavatam and Bhagavat is not different. By saving the devotee, you're also serving the Bhagavat. So by serving the society, this ISKCON is also saving Bhagavatam. But don't take as a granted, oh, because I'm serving the devotees, Bhagavat, therefore no need for me to read Bhagavatam. No. You need to do dynamic. This how we have seen both need to be realized, must go together. Not want only devotional service, no chanting, or kirtan, everything need to be go together. So this how we have seen this in this verse that Ava Visharko Janatra Vipalaho Yashmin Priti Sologamat Pavadi Apihi Namani Anteshe Yasho Nikanti Sarvanti ghayanti grihanti satvaha. Even the fault in that, even you sometimes when we present to the devotee, like now my English is not so good, and you all still listening for it. It doesn't matter, but it will bring revolutions. Like Prabhupada has given an analogy of fire. Is it when fire in a house, is it we need a language to identify that our house was kept fire? What do you all think?
No.
No. So like that. So the Bhagavatam will bring the revolutions. So this how Narada was saying that, please speak about Srimad Bhagavatam. This only will bring the revolution. This how this chapter been this sloka been conclude. So there are any questions? Welcome. So I'm stopping the live of YouTube now.